All right, we got a couple of minutes before we officially start here for our 4:30. Just going to give everybody a chance to jump in. We've got it's Thursday, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. It's beautiful here. Nothing better than LA after a rain. And by the way, we'll take all the rain we can get, and we got a lot of it, and I think more on the way. So anyway, let's just give a few minutes here, and then we will jump in with an exciting update on CancerVax. Appreciate you joining us. I'm taking some of my grandkids to an LA Clipper game tonight. It's pretty exciting. Playing the Denver Nuggets with quite possibly the number one player in the world in Jokic. So anyway, just get another few seconds here. Let's go ahead and get started. So let's frame the conversation today. Start with the why. Great. It's a great video on YouTube. It's a TED Talk, actually. The guy's name was Scott Sinek, Sinek, and he talked about the power of why. And that of all the questions that you can answer for people, the most important is why. So let's start with why. Why CancerVax? Why are we here talking about this today? Well, the why is this. Every single year, 10 million people lose their battle with cancer. 10 million every year. Why? Because the body's immune system, which is unbelievable in its power and its scope, does not readily recognize cancer cells as something that it needs to defend the body against. It does an extraordinary job with measles, with chickenpox, with other things that we've been vaccinated for, but not cancer. Now, why is that? It's because these cancer cells were what we call self or same cells, and they are healthy cells that have mutated into cancer cells, and the body doesn't, they disguise themselves and the body's immune system doesn't recognize it. So for decades, the medical world has fought a war of attrition, and they use, all the usual suspects: surgery, chemotherapy, radiation. And while those methods have all improved fairly dramatically over the past decades, they come at a very, very heavy price, because in many cases they attacked the body as much as they attacked the disease. My name is Byron Elton. I'm president and CEO of CancerVax. We're a preclinical biotechnology company working on a universal cancer treatment platform for the treatment of cancer. I'm also a cancer survivor, so I have a personal reason for being involved in this. If you are here for the first time, go to our website, CancerVax.com. That's CancerVax.com. A lot of information on there, including a very short explainer video that talks about what I've been describing here in more technical terms. If you'd like to speak with an executive of the company, I encourage you to go to callcancervax.com. There's a very simple scheduling app there where you can schedule a call with one of our executives. We talk to people every day from all over the world that have questions about CancerVax. Some of them existing investors looking for more information about how we're doing, perhaps enhancing their position with CancerVax. And a lot of people who are thinking about it and wanting to know more. Happy to talk to you. Call cancervax.com. And then to invest, very important, cancervax.startengine.com. You'll find a very, very simple way to be able to participate and support this very noble and important cause. Okay. So the fundamental problem with cancer is its ability to hide. The cancer cells are the masters of disguise. They are self cells gone wrong. They've mutated into cancer cells, which means that our immune systems don't recognize them as a threat until it's too late. So the field of immunotherapy, which is where we are, um, for decades has tried to teach the immune system to recognize cancer. So all of these efforts, fellow travelers, by the way, have said, listen, the body, the immune system doesn't recognize it. Let's teach the immune system to recognize it. Well, that's proven to be very difficult, very expensive, and for the most part, pretty ineffective. Well, what's our approach? Well, we're not trying to teach the immune system a new trick. In fact, we're turning the tables. We're tricking the immune system into attacking something that it already knows. Our universal cancer treatment platform is designed to do three things: detect, okay, that's a cancer cell; market, deliver a payload that makes that cancer cell exhibit a marker, a characteristic that the body thinks is something else, measles, chickenpox; and thirdly, and most important, kill it while leaving healthy cells alone. So it's the holy grail of cancer treatment. But we use smart mRNA and special nanoparticles. We essentially disguise the cancer cells to look like common diseases, as I mentioned, that the body already recognizes. Measles, chickenpoxes are two of the examples that we would use. So your immune system is already hardwired and well immunized to attack those recognizable pathogens. So by forcing a cancer cell to express viral markers, we trigger a massive natural immune response that targets the cancer cells with surgical precision. Unlike radiation and chemotherapy that harm all kinds of things, kill the cancer cells, but kill a lot of the good stuff in the bee. We leave the healthy cells alone. So our vision, what we get up every day to do, is moving toward a future where treating cancer should be and could be and will be as simple as just getting a shot. Second thing I want to talk to you about today is our team. So breakthroughs and companies and teams are only as strong as the people behind it and by the people that they have working on it. So we've assembled what we really believe is a who's who of immunology and oncology to move this from idea, concept, to the lab, where we are now, to the clinic, and to human beings. So something really important to realize here: people in the field, particularly people who are well recognized, who have impressive CVs, they get approached all the time by companies like CancerVax, quite frankly. Just say, hey, can we have a few minutes of your time? We want to show you what we're doing, have you look at it, and we'd love you to join us. We'd love you basically to give it your seal of approval. They take very few of those calls, the really important people, and even fewer people. They say, yeah, I'd like to be involved with that. I'd like to have my name attached to that. So we've been very successful in that. In fact, let me give you one example. Very recently, and this is on our website, we announced that Dr. Mark M. Davis, that's a name you're going to want to Google, from Stanford, has joined us as a senior scientific advisor. So if you don't know the name, and you probably don't unless you're in the field of oncology, Dr. Davis is an absolute giant in the field of immunology and immunotherapy. He discovered, in fact, and this is important, the T cell receptor genes. That's the very foundation of modern immunotherapy. Dr. Davis discovered that. He's a CancerVax. He's on the CancerVax Scientific Advisory Board. So having the man who literally mapped how the immune system sees the world join our mission is a massive validation internally and externally of our pathogen disguise strategy. But it doesn't stop just there. We have full-time employees. Dr. Adam Grant, Dr. George Kadaba, who have been instrumental in our recent in vitro successes with, give you two examples, pancreatic and liver cancer cell lines. They're with us full-time. We have veterans from companies like Pfizer, Baxter, MedImmune, people who have not only discovered drugs, but have successfully brought them through the FDA and into the hands of patients. Last thing I want to talk to you about today is something called the patent cliff. Now, we spent the last 2 weeks talking about this, what it is, why it's important, and why a company like CancerVax is perfectly positioned, and the timing for our technology is perfect for the big guys to take a look at. So the patent cliff, which is what they're all facing right now, is very, very simple. In the next 5 years, actually starting with 2025 through 2030, patent protections on some of the world's biggest blockbuster drugs, including major oncology treatments, will expire. Give you an example: Keytruda, $25 to $30 billion a year in revenue for this company. There's over $300 billion, but every single year, $300 billion where patents are going to expire in the next 5 years. Keytruda in the next 2 years. And that's a huge revenue risk for big pharma, because when the patents expire, the generic competition moves in, and revenue for them can drop up to 90% almost overnight. So why is CancerVax a potential solution? Well, they can't innovate fast enough internally to replace $300 billion in lost revenue. Their only survival strategy is acquisition, and they do it. We talked about a company last week that was acquired by one of the big guys, Lilly, for oncology. And 2.5 billion is actually the initial number. It could be with certain performance kickers up to $10 billion. So these companies are hunting for late stage and preclinical and early phase clinical assets to fill their pipelines. So CancerVax is perfectly positioned for this for 3 reasons. One is our IP protection. We recently filed foundational PCT patent applications that will provide protection until 2045 for us. 2 is scalability. Our platform, as I mentioned, uses mRNA and lipid nanoparticles, technologies that are now commercially proven and can be manufactured at scale, which is important. And 3, the plug and play model. Our platform, because the platform is universal, not just one cancer, but potentially many cancers, a big pharma partner could apply our disguise technology to multiple cancer types. So we're not just building a company, we're building a high value asset designed to be the exact plug-in solution that a multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical company needs to survive the coming 5 years and, quite frankly, the coming decade. Again, we're CancerVax. We're grateful for the support that we've received from many of you. We invite you to be part of this journey. We'd encourage you to visit CancerVax.com to see our latest data, meet our team, and learn how you can support a future where cancer is no longer a death sentence, but a treatable condition. Thank you for joining us today. We're CancerVax, and we're changing the way the world fights cancer. Join us again next week. We encourage you, and thanks for joining us.